Alright, I'm back. It's been a couple weeks off doing the videos. Haven't skipped any training except for one day. And the only real new development is my right shoulder. I started experiencing a little bit of pain, not necessarily during the lifts, but definitely anything overhead related the day after. So we're looking at Monday's training. This started off with some floor press, which went solid for 3 sets, and then moved on to some Z press. Now again, with my shoulder, the Z presses, they don't hurt as I'm performing the lift. It's mainly just a soreness that takes place afterwards. I have an MRI scheduled for sometime this week. We'll see what happens. We've done some weighted pull-ups. These are starting to get heavy, which is good. So these are triples at 90 pounds. And finished up with some dumbbell overhead. So these are the DB15 loadable dumbbells from Rogue. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan. They're not a very good replacement for just normal dumbbells, just because of how long they take to load. The pins are so long, but definitely starting to save up and buy more traditional dumbbells. So move on here. This is Tuesday. Just did some squats. Now another thing, I guess a second development is, so I normally walk around between 205 and 208 pounds. And for this next competition, I need to weigh 199 or less. Normally I would just do a water cut and come in that morning and be of the appropriate weight, but I was thinking for this one that I'm actually going to try to cut down prior to, maybe see if I can get used to just walking around at like 199, 198. So my weight loss goal is at 198, so I've been on a calorie deficit. So what you just saw was a set that was supposed to be an RPE 8.5, definitely was an RPE 9.5 to 10. And then I did a back off here. And this is, I think it's like 12.5 pounds under what I just did for a triple. And we're about to see the effectiveness of the Rogue strap safeties. So hip shot out, just lost the groove, gave up the lift. Still finished the workout, obviously. Fail was just a fail. I really think that was just like a miscued lift miss, if that makes any sense. Nothing too serious. And realistically, not that heavy. I think it was only like 85. So really not that heavy. But these lunges feel good. I'm starting to switch back and forth between doing them hands wide and hands on the SSB handles. What do you think? Down below. Have you tried the difference between the two? Do you notice a difference between the two? So far, I don't really notice a difference. Supposedly keeping your hands wide forces you to engage your core a little bit more, but I'm not sure how much I buy it. Comment down below what you think. Then we moved on to Wednesday. So Wednesday was supposed to be actual push presses out of the rack, but there were some people using the power rack, and so me and my training partner went outside. And I was really sore this day with my right shoulder coming into it, so I kept it light. So right now what you're looking at is the 8th of 8 every minute on the minute presses, and this one here is at 185. And so the weight's flying up, no problem. It's just a matter of not experiencing that pain. Then we moved into the gym, and I just haven't used chains in the longest time, wanted to use chains. So we did some paused close grip Swiss bar bench presses. I love chains. What do you think? Bands or chains? What do you prefer? We move on to Thursday. So Thursday was some snatch grip deadlifts. I usually just go to straps on these because if I don't go to straps, I end up getting cut up from the bar. This is the top set of the evening at 455 pounds. Now, I did 2 sets before this, one of which was at 415, one at 435. And the 435 felt like the right weight based on the programmed RPE for that day. But I just felt like I kind of had to go for 455 for some reason. So this is on a calorie deficit. I'm still pulling this. It's definitely not an RPE 8.5, and I'm watching my upper thoracic spine. It's, again, any heavy weight, it starts to come out of extension, but still got the lift. Probably an RPE 9.5. Moved on to some front squats. I actually don't know the weight on this. It's written in my book, but I'm too lazy to go look. But yeah, I think it's like 285. And then these are always fun. So we decided to do cannonball grip or grenade grip rows. And I'm pulling, I think it's only like 195 pounds or somewhere right around there. It's just funny. It's close enough to my body weight that I pull myself off the ground every single time I go to do a row. Then we have Saturday. So Saturday, Strongman Saturday. This is at 6:30 a.m. that we actually finally get warmed up and started. And again, I was keeping it light. So far, just because of my shoulder pain that I'm experiencing, I'm planning on opening up at Oklahoma's Strongest Man at 225 for the max axle clean and press, which I know I'm going to regret because it's going to put me behind in points. But what you're looking at right here, this is 215. And 215 comes up just fine. It's just a matter of not hurting myself right at the beginning of the competition. Got to work on that timing a little bit. Overhead's always been a weakness of mine, though. So we move on to the medley practice. So it's going to be a Husafel stone, and this is full weight. This is not full weight for a Husafel, but this is 20 pounds under competition weight. So that's a 310-pound Husafel stone. This is competition weight duck walk at 330 pounds. And then I have the keg up on the cooler, and that's the closest thing I have to simulating a Husafel cross, which is a Titan Fitness piece of shit product, as is everything that Titan Fitness makes. I just been using the keg, and that keg weighs 200 just to simulate the movement. And then move on to sandbag tosses. So I got on the contest website. So this is a 40-pound bag. I've been training with a 40-pound bag for a while because they had dropped the weight down to 40 pounds. Or at least I thought they dropped it down to 40 pounds for all men's classes. Well, as it turns out, they dropped it down for men's lightweight, men's novice, and masters. And so, I mean, these aren't the best throws in the world. I was definitely a little bit inconsistent that day. I blame it a little bit on my shoulder. But right after I did the set, I jumped on there just to make sure of the weight. And sure as hell, it either changed to 50 pounds for my weight class, or it had always been 50 pounds and I had just misread the sheet, which is a very real possibility. So I loaded the bag up to 50 pounds, and as you can see, that pin is set to 12 feet, and I am barely hitting it. So I really need to start working on this. When it was at 40 feet, I wasn't concerned at all. I knew I was going to get all 5 bags in the first throw. But after loading it back to 50, definitely need to start working on it a little bit more. What do you guys think? If you're good at throwing, what would you recommend I do to get better at this? What I really try to concentrate on is getting way bent over and then trying to almost do like a little jerk kind of jump at the end. Yeah, trying to get better, trying to figure out what to do. Definitely a little bit of frustration though. And then I moved on to some cannonball grip single arm deadlifts. This is up at, what is that, 135, 145, 185, 195 per hand, about. All right, excuse the kind of low quality image that we got going, but that is week 23 in the books, somewhere around there. I missed a few weeks in the middle. Just got busy. Life got busy. I'm a father to 2 little girls, and they take up a ton of my time. And honestly, they're priority. So if I skip making training footage because of hanging out with the girls, that's just the way it rolls. Only missed one actual training day the entire time. I actually got so tired I just went to sleep. And as soon as my girls were down, I just went to bed, woke up the next morning, felt great. I got like a full 9 hours of sleep, which never happens. Normally I'm 6 hours a night, and that's a good night. But yeah, that's week 20, whatever it is, in the books. What do you think? Comment down below. Am I going to see it Oklahoma's Strongest? Let me know. But other than that, what kind of videos do you guys want to see? I have a pretty decent facility equipped here. I've done some reviews in the past. I know I've promised some. I just haven't really knocked them out. So if you guys want to see some equipment reviews and you see something I use, let me know, and I'll do a review on it. Other than that, if you go ahead and click up here, it'll take you to a video that I've posted before. And again, if you click over here, it's a subscribe thing. So again, watch the video and subscribe. This is actually hard to do with the camera.